That night, Wubin walked into the room where Yuna was sleeping to check on her. As he approached her bed, he stood there watching her, noticing that she was having a nightmare. He quickly sat beside her, trying to wake her up, but she remained trapped in her dream, murmuring in distress, begging the man who had kidnapped her earlier to let her go. Concerned, Wubin grabbed her hand, holding it tightly, and reassured her that she was safe. Gradually, she calmed down and drifted back into a peaceful sleep. As he was about to stand up and leave, she instinctively held onto his hand, pleading in her sleep for him not to leave her. He sat back down, continuing to hold her hand and whispering that she was safe. As time passed, he eventually fell asleep beside her, still holding her hand tightly. Meanwhile, Kim sat alone in the university cafeteria, still furious that her plan had failed. She had hoped that by kidnapping Minsu, she could stop everything from progressing, ensuring that Sunjin would lose her and giving herself a chance to re-enter his life. As she sat there, her phone rang. It was her friend, a waiter from the restaurant. He nervously informed her that he was scared, having heard that one of the girls she had instructed him to serve drinks to had been kidnapped, and that someone had come by to check the CCTV footage. Alarmed, Kim sat up straight and anxiously asked if they had managed to access the footage. The waiter explained that the security guard had already left for the day, so they had been unable to review it. He expressed his fear of being caught on camera. Trying to remain composed, Kim reassured him that everything was under control and instructed him to act clueless and say nothing to anyone. The waiter reluctantly agreed. After the call ended, panic set in, and Kim tried to call her father, but he did not answer. Frightened, she rushed out of the cafeteria and headed straight to her dorm room. The next morning, Wubin slowly opened his eyes and realized that he had spent the night in the same bed as Yuna, with her arms wrapped around him. Carefully, he removed her arms, ensuring that she did not wake up, and tiptoed out of the room. He sat alone at the breakfast table, staring at the wallet and cell phone he had taken from the kidnapper. As he sat there, Yuna approached him. Immediately, he stood up and walked toward her, asking if she was okay and insisting that she should have rested a little longer. She assured him that she was fine and had gotten enough sleep. He gestured for her to sit down and served her breakfast. As they ate, he asked if she remembered anything before her kidnapping. Trying to recall, Yuna explained that she had been having cocktails with Minsu when she suddenly felt dizzy and blacked out. She emphasized that she had not consumed enough alcohol to pass out like that. Processing the information, Wubin speculated that someone had been watching them and had deliberately drugged her. He asked about her treatment during the kidnapping and whether the abductor had tried to harm her. Yuna hesitated before explaining that the kidnapper had instructed her to call someone from home to request a ransom, but when she struggled to recall any number besides Wubin's, he had attempted to touch her. Hearing this, Wubin's anger flared. Moving closer, he took her hand and assured her that she was safe, reminding her that he had saved her. Standing up, he told her that she could rest and return home whenever she felt ready. Yuna also stood up and looked at him, expressing her gratitude for saving her. Wubin smiled, telling her that she was like family and that he would always protect her. Overcome with emotion, Yuna threw herself into his arms. He held her close, asking if she was truly okay. Looking up at him with a smile, she admitted that he had looked especially attractive when he rescued her. Laughing, he remarked that he was glad to see her returning to her usual self. He glanced at her one last time before excusing himself, saying that he needed to head to the office. As he walked away, Yuna stood there, reflecting on how much he cared for her, realizing that he had risked his life to save her.